Hey everybody, this is Mr. W here. Our topic today is how to simplify fractions using division, also called GCF or greatest common factor. Write the fraction in simplest form. So the fraction we're going to do is 8/10, and we're going to follow a simple 3 steps. We're first going to find the greatest common factor for the numbers 8 and 10, which is the numerator on the top and the denominator. Then we're going to divide the numerator by the greatest common factor and also the denominator. So 8/10, our factors for 8 would be 1, 2, 4, and 8. Factors of 10 would be 1, 2, 5, and 10. The greatest common factor for 8 and 10 would be 2. So that was step 1. The next step is to divide. And we're going to divide it by the 2. I'm going to draw my fraction bar. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And the denominator, 10 divided by 2, is 5. So our 8/10 simplified would be 4/5 using division or using our greatest common factor. When we simplify fractions, we are finding smaller equivalent fraction by dividing. And by smaller, we mean a smaller numerator and a smaller denominator. Notice that for this example, I have two fractions side by side. This first fraction on the left would be 1, 2, 3, 4 out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 4/8. 4/8 would simplify to 1/2. Notice here when I write a fraction, the amount of red would be 1 section out of 1, 2. So we would say that 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2, but 1/2 is a simplified fraction. Remember we said that it would be a smaller numerator, and you can see here 4 got smaller, and a smaller denominator, the 8, got smaller. Notice that the size of the model itself did not get smaller, and I can prove that with some tracing paper. You can see that 4/8, the red portion, if I lay that over, notice that that hasn't changed at all. That did not get smaller at all. What did simplify? The numerator and the denominator. So 4/8 would simplify to 1/2. Greatest common factor. See the lesson on greatest common factor that we've taught before, but just in review, for example, 3/4 3 times 4 equals 12. 3 times 4, 3 and 4 are the factors. So remember, factors are numbers that we multiply. And in 4th grade, which is what this lesson is targeted for, is 4th grade students, most of the time you need to master up to denominators on fractions of 12. So these are the factors for numbers 2 through 12. So for example, factors of 4 would be 1, 2, and 4. Factors of 6 would be 1, 2, 3, and 6, and so forth and so on. So these are your factors, and it would be a good idea to be familiar with and to be able to memorize those factors. That will help you simplify. Write the fraction in simplest form. Just have this little model. Remember that we're going to use this for our greatest common factor. 6/12. Remember we said we're going to divide. And the greatest common factor between 6, which is 1, 2, 3, and 6, here's our factors for 6, and 12 would be the 6. So we're going to divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is equal to 1. And 12 divided by 6 would be equal to 2. So 6/12 would simplify to 1/2. And you can see where the 6 got smaller and the 12. And that's what we mean by simplifying. 3/9. We said we're going to divide for this lesson. The factors for 3 are 1 and 3, and factors for 9 are, that should be 1, 3, and 9. That's a typo, so there should be a 3 in there. And so our greatest common factor would be 3. And I'm going to make my fraction bar. 3 divided by 3 would be 1. And on the bottom, 9 divided by 3 would be 3. So 3/9 would simplify into 1/3. 6/8. 6 factors of 6 and factors of 8. And when I check both of these lists, I can see that 2 would be my greatest common factor. 6 divided by 2 would be 3. And 8 divided by 2 would be 4. So 6/8 would simplify using our division and greatest common factor of 6 and 8 would simplify to 3/4. And finally, 4/6. And our factors of 4 would be 1, 2, and 4, and 6 would be 1, 2, 3, and 6. So I'm seeing 2. 4 divided by 2 would be 2, and 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So 4/6 would simplify to 2/3. Okay, I hope this was helpful, everybody. We'll see you next time. Again, our lesson today was to simplify fractions, and we used a greatest common factor and division strategy today. All right, we'll see you next time.